Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtatar Shata Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya Yamunatira Vanacharya Yamunatira Vanacharya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivraja Kacharya Ashtatarashata Shishimat His Divine Grace Shila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 8th chapter, prayers by Queen Kunti, which are finished, actually. Text number 48. It's Ahome Pashyata Gyanam Hridiradam Duratmana Parakyasyaiva Dehasya Bhakvyo me kshauhinir hata Ahome pashyata gyanam Hridirudam duratmanaha Parakyasyaiva dehasya Bhakvyo me kshauhinir hata Ahome pashyata gyanam Ahome pashyata gyanam Hridirudam duratmanaha Parakyasyaiva dehasya Ahome kshauhinir hata. Okay, aho O me my Pashyata Jesse Agyanam ignorance Hridi in the heart Rudam situated in Duratmanaha of the sinful Parakyasya meant for others Eva certainly Dehasya of the body Bhakvya many me by me Akshauhini combination of military phalanxes Hataha killed Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. King Yudhishthira said, "O my Lord, I am the most sinful man. Just see my heart, which is full of ignorance. This body, which is ultimately meant for others, has killed many, many phalanxes of man." Purport. A solid phalanx of 21,870 chariots, 21,870 elephants, 9,050 infantry, and 66 as the most pious king of the world, takes for himself the responsibility for killing such a huge number of living beings, because the battle was fought to reinstate him on the throne. This body is, after all, meant for others. While there is life in the body, it is meant for the service of others. And when it is dead, it is meant to be eaten by dogs and jackals or maggots. He is sorry because for such a temporary body, such a huge massacre was committed. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shimate Praladaranda Swami Tinamine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Shimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shnevadi Pashtya Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Maharaj Yudhishthira is lamenting here that he didn't use his body for others. Hare Krishna. Too loud. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, he's lamenting that this body should be used for others, and all this war in Kurukshetra was fought just to put me on the throne. And of course, in his humbleness, that's how he sees things. But we all know that he's a pure devotee and everything was done under Krishna's instructions. But it's important to understand that this is a devotee's attitude. He's always humble, very, very cautious. There's a nice example in Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is Lord Chaitanya, and he has his personal servant Govinda. And there's this episode. One time Lord Chaitanya ate too much. They had a big feast, and he ate a lot. Of course, I mean, Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, so he can eat. There's this, when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya tries to feed the Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya says, no, this is too much. And he says, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, you can eat many universes. As Govardhan, you eat this. And what is this, what I'm giving you? It's just a little. So then Lord Chaitanya says, okay, you caught me. So Lord Chaitanya ate a bit too much. So that's the lila. And after prasadam, usually Lord Chaitanya would go in his room, and Govinda would come and massage him. And the Lord Chaitanya is he's sitting in the door of the room, like here, he's blocking the door. And he's just there. And Govinda comes and says, can I come inside and massage your feet? I said, I'm sorry, I ate too much, I cannot move. So Govinda is trying different ways. It's an offense to jump over you and so on, and I don't want to do it. He says, okay, do whatever you have to do, but I cannot move from here. So Govinda says, okay, it's an offense, but I have to serve. So Govinda puts a chadar over Lord Chaitanya's body and jumps over, and he massages him. And then the usual practice was then when Lord Chaitanya would fall asleep. I mean, he would fall asleep for like a nap, And Govinda would go and take prasadam and then come back, And so Lord Chaitanya wakes up and Govinda is still there. Like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Why didn't you go and take prasadam? And okay, just try to find. Thank you. And so now the interesting part of the lila. Lord Chaitanya is asking him, why didn't you go and take prasadam? And and Govinda is like, I couldn't go out, of the room. He says, but you came in, If you came in, then you can go out also. It's the same process. And Govinda mentally is thinking, this mental reply, he didn't say anything to Lord Chaitanya. He said, my duty is to serve, even if I have to commit offenses or go to hell. I would not mind committing hundreds and thousands of offenses for the service of the Lord. But I greatly fear committing even a glimpse of an offense for my own self. It's different. I came in to serve, and when I would go out, I would have gone for my sense gratification. So, from an external perspective, the activity is the same. Jump over, boom, boom, in and out. Yes, but so it's important why. And for Krishna's mission, any effort is okay. And sometimes even cutting some corner. We don't really recommend this, but in some cases you can cut some corners. And you'll be fine. For sure. There was one Mataji was cleaning Prabhupada's room or something. He was cleaning something. And by mistake, she was doing these windows and she was up and so on. And by mistake, she touched Prabhupada with her foot. And she was like, oh my God, touching with her foot the spiritual master is such an offense. And Prabhupada says, for Krishna's service, you can step on my head even. Of course, you don't have to do it. Don't do it. And but for ourselves, no. For Krishna, everything for Krishna. For myself, I don't need anything. Typical brahmachari goes out, he collects 100 euros, 200 euros, and he's very cautious. Okay, now I have to spend €1 for something for me, Oh, should I spend it? Should I not spend it? Because he understands, okay, this belongs to Krishna. And we should have this mentality, like sometimes we're a bit too generous with Krishna's properties for ourselves, Oh, I need this, I need this, I need this. Oh, yeah, and with this. Yeah, but it's Krishna's money, so we should be very cautious. For the mission, everything. Boom. For ourselves, yeah, little. So this is the attitude we learn from Govinda and from these devotees. Maharaj Yudhishthira is like very concerned. Oh, we have this war for myself. Actually, it's for Krishna. But we should develop somehow this attitude. Of course, we should not imitate renunciation levels that we are not on. Because sometimes devotees act like very renounced for 3 days, and then they just bloop, they just go nuts. Okay, this is too much. So we shouldn't do this, but we should go in this direction. We should understand, okay, everything is here is Krishna's, and we should really be aware of it and use it for Krishna. So that's one point about the attitude of a pure devotee. Another point which is made here is that this body which we have actually belongs to Krishna. So it's not meant for sense gratification. It's meant for service of others. So there's these famous prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, Lord Nisimha comes in front of Prahlad Maharaj, since we're going to, anyway, tomorrow we're going to see Lord Nisimha Dev. So Nisimha comes and he says, yeah, I can give you benedictions. And Prahlad said, no, thank you. I'm good. Yeah, but and he says, "O best of the great personalities, I'm not at all afraid of material existence, for wherever I stay, I'm fully absorbed in thoughts of your glories and activities. I'm good, wherever I am, with the snakes, with whatever this Hiranyakashipu is trying to do to me. I'm fine, I'm good, because I'm thinking of Krishna, I'm in Krishna consciousness, so I don't care. But I'm very concerned. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them. I look at people and I see they are not good. I'm good, but they are not good. And I'm really concerned about them, you know. Prahlad Maharaj is thinking, for me, nothing. I don't care. I'm good. Everything, I have everything. But these people are not good. You know, sometimes you ask people, how are you today? Good, very good and amazing. And everyone has to say, this is how we were taught in this society, that I'm very good, I'm good. And sometimes some people are actually honest. I'm like, I'm not so good today. Like, okay, thank you. At least honest person. Nobody is good. How can you be good in these circumstances or in this material world? Nobody. You cannot be good in the material world. So Prahlad Maharaj is seeing these people, and he's thinking, oh, I'm good because I'm in Krishna consciousness, and they are suffering like anything because they are not in Krishna consciousness. So how can I help them? So, okay, this body belongs to Krishna, and Krishna wants all these people to be happy. And the only way to be happy is if they are in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, they're... So, this is the thinking of a devotee. He's like not thinking too much of himself. He's thinking of others. How can I help others? They say there's this definition of humility, which I heard. It's nice. It says humility doesn't mean thinking of yourself less. Like this means it's a game more. This means you don't think of yourself. You're humble. Oh, I'm so low. I'm so unhappy. I'm so this. I'm so this. But it's all about me. You know, it's about I am most low. In this case, not most important. I cannot become most important, but at least I'm most fallen. I am like this. I am like this. I am like this. It's all about me. And no, it means thinking of yourself less. You don't think so much of yourself. You think, what can I do for Krishna? This is real humility. You don't the whole day, I am so like this, and I have this problem, and it's all about me. Yes, that's good, but how about Krishna? What about Krishna? What about the others? So this is real humility that you learn from these devotees. They are thinking, Prahlad Maharaj is thinking, they throw me to the snakes, but I'm fine, I'm good, because I'm Krishna conscious, so they throw me from a hill, I'm good. But how can I help this? I'm not worried about my situation. You know, sitting with the snakes is probably not very comfortable. He's not worried about it. He's worried about how can he help others. Of course, we should maintain the body in such a way that it's functional, that we can use it for the service of others. But our main focus is that how you can serve others. And if you do that, we had this Sankirtan festival, and I showed His Holiness Praladananda Maharaj pictures with devotees. And he looked, he said, he saw, oh, they are all happy. Everyone had this blissful smile. Hey, it's nice. And he said, in Sankirtan, in book distribution, the reciprocation is almost automatic. You just go there, you try to do something, and you're happy. Yeah. After some time, after you go through cleaning a bit of the heart, then you're like, wow, this is so nice. Yeah, Good. So this is real humility, to think, what can I do for others? How can I support? And of course, this you can do or support others who do something for others. But this is the mood. And Lord Chaitanya had the same mood. The most famous instruction of Lord Chaitanya, we'll go to that, was to this Brahmana from Kurmastan. So Lord Chaitanya was traveling to South India, and he meets this Brahmana, and this Brahmana is very inspired by Lord Chaitanya. He says, hey, I want to leave everything and just travel with you, just be with you. And Lord Chaitanya says, no. Says, you just stay at home and chant Hare Krishna. And then he says the famous verse, Yardeka Tarekaha Krishna Upadesha Amara Gaya Guru Hanatara Desha. Instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Shri Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. So Lord Chaitanya says, no, you stay where you are. I mean, this is it's not about staying where you are. Sometimes if you are in somewhere with a snake, you have to stay to change your position. Like, okay, let's stay somewhere more comfortable, where I can preach better. But the point is, you have to try to use every opportunity to think how to help others. And then this is really a change of consciousness, because on the material platform, you look at everything that, hey, how can I enjoy this? Oh, this microphone. Can I eat it? No. Can I do this? So, in the material consciousness, everything you look at, you're like, how can I enjoy this? And in spiritual consciousness, if you have just this change of consciousness, then you look at everything as, oh, how can I use this for service? So, for example, you meet a nice girl. You go you have some books in your hand, and you go for Sankirtan, and you meet a good-looking girl. And you're like, oh, look, good-looking girl. How can I enjoy? Well, we could enjoy a bit, huh? That would be nice. Huh? And then you look at the books in your hand. And like, hey, what's these books? Ah, okay. Now I remember. I start to remember. Oh, this girl is a spirit soul, and she is an eternal servant of Krishna. And I can give her a book, and then she will be happy. So when you have books in your hand, then this change of consciousness is happening, because should be happening, because you're no more thinking of, hey, how can I enjoy this thing? You're thinking, oh, how can I help Krishna enjoy? How can I help this person become Krishna conscious? Because that's my mission. Now I have to tell everyone about Krishna. So the same girl that is attractive, and you think, oh, I want to enjoy with her. It's nice. Huh? Same girl, you think, oh, she's a servant of Krishna. She doesn't know yet, but no problem. We'll give her a book, and then she'll find out, and Krishna will be happy with it. Same situation, just different mindset. So wherever you are, that's the instruction of Lord Chaitanya. Wherever you are, whoever you meet, you think, how can I help this person in Krishna consciousness? Of course, if it's your guru, you don't think how to make him Krishna conscious. But you think, how can I get some instruction from him? How can I become more Krishna conscious? And then how can I improve my service? And then Lord Chaitanya says, even more interesting, says, if you do this, what is the effect? Because, you do something, and then you see what will happen if you do this. And Lord Chaitanya says in the next verse, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further advised the Brahmana Kurma, if you follow this instruction, your materialistic life at home will not obstruct your spiritual advancement. So you can, your material things, so-called material things will not affect you. For example, it's very simple. You go to Sankirtan and you meet so many materialistic people. And because your consciousness is that I want to give them Krishna consciousness, you're not affected. And as soon as your consciousness is that I want to enjoy this association, you're going down. But if your consciousness is, okay, you can go to the most beautiful girl if you're conscious. You have to be cautious about it. But if your consciousness is that I want to distribute a book to her, you'll not be affected. But if your consciousness is like, yeah, she's a spirit soul, a nice spirit soul, then you slowly. So if your consciousness is how to help others, then nothing material will affect you. And he says, then Lord Chaitanya says, indeed, if you follow these regulative principles, we will again meet that here. He says, Lord Chaitanya, if you follow this, if you chant Hare Krishna and preach, we will meet again. And then he says like in poker, he puts something and he puts, okay, and more. And he says, or rather, you will never lose my company. Lord Chaitanya says, you'll always be in my company, which is quite strong statement, like you preach, Lord Chaitanya will always be with you. Wow. Just chant Hare Krishna, you preach, and the Lord Chaitanya will always be with you. It's good, would be good, no? Lord Chaitanya is always there with you. Good. Success. So preaching is the fast track to Krishna consciousness. It's like the slow track and the fast track. Like they have in the airports. They have if you have a business class ticket, they'll just and everyone stays there in line, 200 people, and you have a business class ticket, and you just cut the queue. There's no queue for business class people. That's it. Finish. In Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani, Srila Shivara Maharaj talks about watering the devotional plant. And he says, he says about sadhana bhakti. I mean, you hear it, but Maharaj said very clearly, the sadhana bhakti means hearing and chanting plus preaching. And apparently, without preaching, it's very, very hard to get to this level of Madhya Madhikari, to this Nishta platform. Stable, very stable in Krishna consciousness. Without preaching, very hard. And by preaching, very easy. And of course, there are a few things to know about preaching, because this verse says a few things. One of the things, it says Krishna Upadesha. This is translated that as instruction of the Bhagavad Gita as it is spoken by the Lord, or of Srimad Bhagavatam, which advises one to worship Shri Krishna. So our preaching should be Krishna Upadesha, should be Krishna's instructions. Sometimes we mix a lot of things in our preaching. A bit about how to find the love of your life, a bit about yoga, a bit of psychology, a bit of how to get good relationships and so on. And this is all good. And they all have their role. But this is not Krishna consciousness. It's not. So you have to see what is from Krishna's instruction and what is not. And it has to be very clear. Because preaching, as Lord Chaitanya says, means preaching from Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna's instruction. Everything else, you want to preach some devotees, you can do bridge preaching, and you can do this preaching, that preaching. Okay, maybe it can be helpful, but it has to lead to preaching from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And some devotees say that bridge preaching is preaching without preaching. So, it can go in that direction also sometimes, It means that it's preaching, there's some activity, you teach people many things, but nothing is from Bhagavatam, nothing is from Krishna. So then it's preaching without preaching. Exactly when you should put the point, Shri Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Gaurnitai ki jai. Exactly when you should put the real thing on the table, then you don't. Like, hey, okay, this is preaching, but where is Krishna? So, will Lord Chaitanya be happy with this preaching? Yes, no, maybe. So, if you want to use these techniques, okay, no problem, but it has to lead to Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise. And then there's another problem, the problem of mixed bhakti. And the problem is that if you plant mixed bhakti, you are going to harvest mixed bhakti. It's very simple, but very consequential, If you present bhakti yoga as a means to, to get money, influence people, find the love of your life, and so on, then this is mixed bhakti. And this doesn't, if people get this idea of bhakti, that bhakti means that you will be successful in life, materially successful. And if you get this idea, if you present this idea, then these people, they will not develop into pure devotees. And this kind of mixed bhakti, it can produce elevation to heavenly planets. It can produce even liberation, but it will not produce Krishna Prema. And you will not go back to Godhead by this kind of bhakti. It's very important. It's very, very important because, it's very important to clarify, okay, this is Shastra and this is something else. And they all have their role, but it's very important to be very clear about it. Otherwise, we can be confused. So, Srila Prabhupada came and he introduced pure bhakti. And that's it, And we should present pure bhakti. And if you want to beat around the bush for some time with some other things, it's okay. But it should be very clear, okay, this is pure bhakti and this is my beating around the bush, Like in book distribution, you say people, oh, you're such a nice person, this, that, and then you give him the pure bhakti. This is the pure bhakti. And everything else is just like, I had to say something. Okay. Whatever. And the point is that we should preach pure bhakti. And we should, in an intelligent way, of course, we should not talk first about Rasa Lila and so on. And we should talk according to persons. But it should be from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Gradual. And we should not be too cautious about presenting pure bhakti. Because sometimes we have this idea that people will not accept And I mean, sometimes people will accept, you know. You would be surprised, you know. I was yesterday. We were in Lashko, and I met this lady. And first we met, and she says, "I have some books." And then we met after again, and then she got a book, and then she was like, "Okay, I have to ask you a question." I was like, "Okay, ask me a question." And then she said, "You know, my partner is cheating on me," and so on and so on. And I was like, "Oh my God, you know, I'm a brahmachari and I have to do this psychology counseling." And I said, "Okay, we'll do it the hard way, you know. We'll preach, and either you run or you actually get some benefit." So I was like, "You know, if you want someone who will not cheat you, that's Krishna." She read the books, so she knew, she read some books, she has been to the temple once or twice, so she knew a bit about the philosophy. And then she was like, "Wow, okay." No. And then she was like, "Well, my partner," yeah, your partner, of course, you know, like who, you know, of course, on the material platform, things happen, you know. So I was like, just telling her, "Okay, if you want someone who will not cheat you, it's Krishna." And then I told her, "So you have to chant Hare Krishna, you have to read and so on." And she accepted. She was like, "Wow, that makes sense." And I could have, you know, beaten around the bush and, you know, of course, you'll find the love of your life. No, this horrible place, come on. And sometimes we're afraid to tell people this kind of things. You know? Why not, you know? Of course, you shouldn't be like a rascal, you burn in hell and so on. But I was like trying to, as compassionately as possible, tell her that this is the truth. This is what it is, you know. Like, man will cheat you in this material world. On the material platform, it's like that. So sorry. So she was like, okay, I will try to chant Hare Krishna, I will try to find some association, this. Good, you know. So then I met this lady, she says, "Oh, these books about God and how to develop," and she was like suggesting that she doesn't want to have anything to do with this kind of God stuff. And no, she was asking, "Is these books about God?" I said, "Yes." And she was like a bit, "Oh, okay." And then I was just nice to her, and eventually I got her to help with a donation, and then she got a book, and she was happy with the book. So the point being made is sometimes we put so much effort to hide Krishna from our preaching, and I mean, why? You know, because if you hide Krishna, then Krishna will also hide from us, you know. And if we present Krishna, people will be attracted. So the mind says, "No, I don't want to have anything to do with Krishna consciousness, with these crazy people." But the soul says, "Yeah, take the book, bring it." I remember one case, I distributed one book to someone in Romania, just running, you know, like from the university to home and so on. I was like, "So do you," after they took the book, they gave a donation, okay, and on the way, I was like, "Okay, let's make some conversation. So did you read some spiritual books before?" He said, "No, I'm not interested in such things." But they just got a book, you know, they just got a book and gave a donation, you know. So I was like, all right. Because, you know, something, Paramatma said, "Take the book." And the mind said, no, this is crazy, no. Who cares about what you think? Just take the book. So the point is that we shouldn't be too cautious about presenting Krishna consciousness. We should be cautious, of course, we should present it in an intelligent way, but we should not be too cautious. And sometimes we think that I cannot say this because people will not be able to accept it. And sometimes they do. If you present it in a pure way, you present like, I'm practitioner, that's what I believe in, and with firm faith and with compassion, then people might accept. Why not? So we shouldn't be around the bush too much, like just, okay, why not? At some point we should say, yeah, this is our message. We're eternal servant of Krishna, and you'll not be happy unless you're an eternal servant of Krishna. Why not? So, yeah, there's more, but so sometimes we do this. We don't preach too purely because we don't have the preacher himself. They don't have enough faith in Krishna. They to say, hey, Krishna is actually acceptable. Krishna consciousness philosophy is actually acceptable by anyone, and you just need to present it in a nice way, and that's it. Like why should we present this thing, that thing, that thing? Why not present just Krishna consciousness? Hey, these books about God and how to. Of course, in Sankirtan we're like books on yoga and meditation, and we when they get home, tells you how to be free from stress, and then when they go home, Prabhupada will put them and say, hey, okay, sit down and listen. So they'll figure it out at home. So we don't need to. But yeah, I mean, if they ask you something, you don't say something which is untrue. So yeah, sorry. So the point is, many times we have to, if we're not able to preach so directly, then we can look at our faith, our own faith, because when we say that they cannot accept this Krishna consciousness as it is, it might be that we are saying that we cannot accept Krishna consciousness as it is. There's something here. And then we project on the others. So if our faith, because pure Shraddha means that we're completely convinced that if you practice Krishna consciousness, that's all we need to do. Everything else will be provided. Everything else. We don't need to look at anything else. We just practice Krishna consciousness, and that's it. It's it's not so cheap, Having pure Shraddha is not so cheap. It's very rare. It's actually very rare. So we can look at our own faith. Okay, do I have full faith in Shastra? Shastra says something. Science says something else. Do I have full faith in Shastra? Do I have full faith in Prabhupada? This is all at Shraddha level. And if this Shraddha is there, then like everything is like walking apart. I mean, not a walking apart. Then you're building a proper plant, and then it will grow, and naturally it grows. It'll get to Nishta. Of course, you'll get to Nishta. But this Shraddha is very important to see. And this Shraddha is always built and sustained by association with devotees. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I'll just finish with this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that devotees in bhava can raise non-devotees to ruchi. And he says, serious practitioners, we're trying to be serious practitioners. Devotees who have some nishta, who are convinced, they can bring non-devotees to pure Shraddha, which is good enough, which is really good. And then they have to practice, and then they can advance. And probably devotees with mixed Shraddha can bring non-devotees to mixed Shraddha, and it can even mix the Shraddha of a devotee with pure Shraddha. So, of course, in rare cases, that's not the case. But that's the point. We should understand who is on which platform we are on, look at our own Shraddha and see, is it pure, is it not pure? And if it's not pure, we try to purify and to try to find this association of those devotees who have this pure faith. And then we can grow, and then we make advancement in Krishna consciousness. Anyway, I'll stop here. I talk too much, sorry. If there's some questions, comments, concerns. Okay. I asked my questions and I responded already. So. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki. Everything is amazing.
Too many things. I would like.
This will liberate you from bodily designation.
If you think something about Krishna, oh, this was used to make Krishna and so on.
Yeah. It's even better. Last chord, zadnji klic. Sem gre fluga, ne sem izgubil ven. Sem zapika čez.
Se umi nekaj registriral, sem prednji, to bi še kaj delo trajalo.
Imaš kaj. Oprosti narod. Meni zelo nagaja.
To smo se vozili, ne pa tam
Tukaj zase zadrž.
Ja, se bom, se nisem še enkrat.
Meni si povedal.
To pa bilo, a? To je bila lina.
Mora biti zabava, ja, avantura. Krišna prav, jaz sem avantura.
Samo rana še gora pa da padne. Pravratana. Vratana. Kom Bulgarom da raketa. Garam, komu da garam. Če bo brž kak, dost.
Peli, ko vedno prenese sadje.
Ti ćeš pevat Hare Krišna čitanje gore prvo more.
A?
Какой Бог? Пиши Бог. Hare Krišna. das videl, že sem bil 25 let star. Približen, kako naprej.
Čakaj, pa ena žival reče. Ena živalca preleze.
Takrat sem nisem imel cajt, da sem bil mamsko, pa sem si pozdravil.